Hey guys, welcome back to Luke's Goldies. In this video, I'm going to talk about what's happening behind me. What's happening here? Why is the water level so low? Well, I'm doing a water change. And a lot of people have different ideas on what level water change you should do. Some say never do more than 30%. You do more than 30%, your fish are going to die. Me, I'm a big supporter. I'm pro large volume water changes. I really like taking that water level down a lot. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why I like large volume water changes for goldfish. But before I do that, you guys already know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. You got to like and subscribe. You got to. I'm sitting here, I'm giving you a video. That's all I ask in return. 2 clicks. Boom, boom. Done. All right. Anyway, for goldfish specifically, it is really beneficial to do large volume water changes because these guys create a lot more waste than other freshwater fish out there. These guys poop. These guys poop a lot, and their poop has a lot of nitrogen compounds in them. So that nitrate level likes to get up there very quickly on goldfish tanks. So the reason I like doing large volume water changes is that you really got to get that nitrate out of there, and the quickest and easiest way to take, let's say your nitrate's at 40 ppm, if you remove 75% of the water, it's down to 10 ppm. You got to do large volume water changes to really get that nitrate level down. And these goldfish just produce so much waste that you really have to, you should be doing them. Now you could theoretically, instead of doing 175% water change a week, do 3 like 25% water changes. And because of the way the math works with diluting and refilling the tank, you might actually have to do more than 3 25% water changes to be equivalent to 175% water change. So definitely when you do a large volume over 50% water change, you're removing a large amount of those nitrates and really dropping the concentration. Now you might be worried, okay, what if you shock your goldfish? What if your goldfish is in shock? They don't like the large volume water change. It's a big shift for them. Here's the thing, some goldfish might be sensitive to it. And that's why I recommend when you first get your goldfish, do your 25 or 30% water changes. Keep the water changes small, but slowly work your way up there. They'll slowly get used to large kind of shifts in the water and large changes in the water, and pretty soon they'll be able to handle it and not even like do anything. Sometimes after a water change, your fish might be a little still, look like it's a little slightly stressed. But if you do it enough times and you get your goldfish used to it, and you slowly go from like 30% down to like 70, 80% water changes, they'll get used to it and they'll be just fine. And you might be worried about what about the pH? What if the pH is changing? Well, if you're constantly removing a large volume, whoa, I just scared my fish. If you're constantly removing a large volume of the water and replacing it with your tap water, they're basically like the pH of the water is not going to swing that much because it's not going to be aging in there very long. It's going to be mostly just the same pH as your tap water. If you constantly do a lot of large volume water changes, as you probably should, at least once a week, sometimes you might need even more, the pH really won't be a problem. The pH only becomes a problem if you have a tank that hasn't had the water changed in a long time, which isn't good. You shouldn't be doing that. And then you remove a large amount of the water and replace it, then you might really do a big drastic change in the pH. But if you're already doing your weekly water changes for your goldfish, the pH really shouldn't swing that much. But let's say you haven't done a water change like in a month. Don't do that. You better not do that. But let's say you didn't do a water change like a whole month. Okay, then don't do a 75% water change. You might shock your fish. The pH has definitely changed in there. But if you're constantly changing 75% of the water, you should be just fine. Your pH should not be changing that much. But definitely the number one reason why I like doing large volume water changes is it will get that nitrate level down and it will get it down efficiently. And if you slowly break your goldfish into it, they will be okay. And a lot of people will ask me, oh, what if I have a lot of filters? If I have a ton of filters on there, do I have to do less water changes? No. There are some filters that have some mechanisms to remove nitrate, but in the end, it's really not going to work that well. The only real effective way to remove nitrate is by changing out the water. And no matter how many filters you have or how good your filtration system is, you gotta do water changes to remove that nitrate out of the system. A lot of new keepers get confused on that. They think more filtration means I don't have to do as many water changes. Not exactly. No, your filtration really shouldn't change your water change, the amount of times you need to do water changes, because regardless, that nitrate level is still going to creep up. But yeah, that's all I have to say today. Definitely do large volume water changes, but make sure you slowly introduce it to your fish so they don't get so stressed about it. Thanks for watching, and I think it's time to fill this tank up. Maybe I might have done a little too big of a water change, but they're fine. They're used to these. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's time to fill this tank up now.